What's up, y'all? This not going to be a long live. This is going to be a quick live. As most of the time, it always is. Um, so the title should be saying it's about the Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever. That's what we're here to talk about. But also, man, it's been some trying stuff going on. Oh man, there's some technical difficulties in more ways than one, folks. A lot of technical difficulties as it pertains to two phones, y'all. Y'all heard Kevin Gates' song. I got two phones. I got two broken phones. And I got my iPad that's messed up. Let somebody see it in my yeah, that's no good. So what this tells me is that I gotta really, 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 step my game up. So I really been MIA. I mean, it's a lot going on. I haven't really been wanting to be bothered. And I know that's crazy as hell to say, but I really haven't really. I've been watching. I just been wanting to be in my own little cubby hole and watch sports and watch my hockey teams and watch some NBA and watch my Timberwolves and watch WNBA. And I just didn't really want to report on it. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest, keep it honest all the time. I really despite the shit that's been going on, I really just was like, I'm just gonna be honest and I'm just gonna say what it is. And so right now we having technical difficulties. I'm trying something different here. So, this isn't how I would normally record and go live, but I'm doing what I got to do. So, dropping some content. And we're going to talk about the fever here in a second. But I guess there's always something good that comes with something bad, right? I mean, we just crossed the 1,000 mark. So I'm grateful for the 1,000 subs. I really am because never really looked at myself as like, okay, I want to do content creation. I just really didn't really see myself as that. And then when it came down to it, and I found like, oh, I really want to talk about, Caitlin Clark, Iowa, UCLA, women's basketball. When it really came down to, I'm trying to see why I'm multitasking. I'm trying to see if I can get this Las Vegas Aces game to play. My app was acting crazy. My WNBA League Pass, trying to get it to play a game because I wasn't able to check it out yesterday. Oh, now it wants to load. Now it looks like it wants to play. I don't know. I've been trying to get this thing to play for like 20 minutes, trying to get it to play a replay of the Las Vegas Aces versus Phoenix Mercury. And after 20 minutes, now it finally decides it wants to play. I don't know. Sometimes I found myself getting frustrated quick as hell. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like if something doesn't go right, like I know I recorded 3 videos and I made a mistake and deleted them. That was frustrating as hell. Then I decided, okay, one of them was about Georgia Amore, and then Georgia Amore gets hurt. And when Georgia Amore gets hurt, I'm like, okay, maybe that was a sign that video wasn't supposed to come out anyway. Am I gonna be more consistent about stream? What's up, Alchemist? What's going on? I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I can't believe this channel almost been up 3 years. That's crazy. The first season, I was there for like almost every Aces game. And then last season, I was kind of hit or miss with them as well as with the Fever. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with it. Got a lot going on, but I'm definitely gonna try to. If I don't do anything else, I'm gonna try to recap games. Even if it's just like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can because you found some Dallas Wings channels to follow. Oh, is that your team, Dallas Wings? I love Maddie Seacrest. I was gonna do a Maddie Seacrest video. That's the crazy thing because it's like I just gotta go back and do what got deleted. But the Georgia Amore, her getting injured, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do that one. But because obviously I was excited to see Amore play. I had a Maddie Seacrest video. I don't know what happened. I was just clearing out my tablet and just made a mistake and deleted the Maddie Seacrest video, deleted the Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston video. But hey, it's all good. We're just gonna move past it. We're gonna try to move past everything, technical difficulties and all. You're not a Dallas Wings fan, but I think what I was saying is I think Maddie Seegers is great, and I just think it's unfortunate because I think it's going to take a little bit more time for her to get her rightful position as a starter. Because Melissa Smith, I feel like since she's there, is going to be somewhat of a conflict. So I'm not sure she's going to come off the bench. You like to follow Jen. I mean, I'm not sure she's going to be starting, and I was looking forward to her starting, especially since Satu Sabali departed and went to Phoenix. I like to follow general league content. The only way the league can grow is through fan interaction and fan channels. Absolutely. I mean, that's a great point to make because sometimes, content creators put in a lot of work. I mean, you look at Quita Love Sports, you look at how much, she's one of the hardest working content creators out there. So when you look at some of these content creators, they put their blood, heart, sweat, tears in this. And, it helps the game grow. But at the same time, it does take up a lot of channel. I don't know if you had a channel, Alchemist, or if you would ever do a channel, but it takes a lot. Even if you just doing something as simple as hitting record and talking about it, even if you're not editing, even if you're not, putting all the fancy footworks involved into what it takes to do this thing, it takes a lot. Whether you play-by-play streaming, whether you just doing pre-record, pre-games, recaps, doing both of those, whether you're the type of channel that brings players on for interviews, coaches, if you just the kind of content, the kind of content creator for women's or basketball, really content related, whatever, sports related, even if you're just doing highlight breakdowns, it takes some time. It does take up your time. So you got to love this. And I love talking about the game. If there's ever times where I feel like it's too much, I step away, I step back. I'm a person that believes in sanity and peace above all. So I'm not here to if I ever feel like it's too much at times, which is never too much. But sometimes life intervenes. But I do think I struggled last season, and one of those reasons is because of adapting to Caitlin Clark and listening to too much what people were saying. Clark and Reese, the season was wearing on me. It was weary. Let me read some of your comments. So that was the first season I had in a long time where some of the games things got weary. Some of the Caitlin Clark praise was through the roof. Some of the Angel Reese praise was through the roof, and it was getting me tired. I just want to watch basketball. I just want to talk basketball, and I don't want to get into all of the side arguments and heated debates and things like that, which is why y'all see me come on here, talk about a game, talk about a player, talk about something, and then I'm out of here. I will talk to you guys in the comment section. I have tons of respect for most to all of the content creators out there talking women's hoops, but it's just some things it's just not for me. I seen you interact with some of the folks from the Chicago Sky fandom. Sky got a really good team. I'm not opposed to any team. I don't have no hate for no team. I just some like Ridden just saying, some of these I don't know what it is, but some people get too emotional. I don't know these. I always say this. I never said this off camera, but I'm gonna say this on camera for the first time. I don't personally know these players. I don't go home with these players. These players are not in my family. They're not related to me. I might be a fan of them, but in terms of me like laying my neck out on the line for them, and I don't know them from a can of paint. All I know is their game. I know how they play. I know what they let in, what they say in interviews. But I'm not going to bat with somebody. I'm not going to be raising my voice, screaming at the top of my lungs for somebody I don't really truly know. I love the game, but I refuse to put these players. I think that's my disconnect. I refuse to put these players up on this pedestal that I just feel like don't nobody belong at. Like it's great. You play basketball, outstanding, amazing, magnificent. And I give your game some love, a lot of love if you really hoop it. But some people have like this idol worship thing going on. And I can't really speak to that here on this channel, but it's unreal. I mean, because if you just look at it, case in point, I will use this. People went to the Taylor Swift concert and they ain't even get up and go to the bathroom, y'all. I have to say this. They sat there and soiled their pants just so they could record the whole thing. So you got some Caitlin Clark fans out there who probably in that realm of thinking where it's like she's such this idol to them, and it's I don't know if it's the same thing with Reese, but it's almost like if you say something that Caitlin would need to improve at, they don't want nothing to do with you. They like, okay, I'm out of here. And it happened with me. When I said Caitlin needed to improve, I said Caitlin needed to be stronger in the face of her oppressors. People left. I'm one of her biggest fans, but in terms of, I mean, it's not an ass kissing contest at the end of the day. I'm a huge fan, a big time fan. I've spoken to people, that have come across Caitlin that are talking to her, and like I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just a huge supporter. I'm putting that out right now. I'm a huge supporter, but I'm not gonna fanboy to the point where it's like, oh, everything she does is gold. She has things she needs to improve on. But let's see the comments. Good point. Oh, wait a minute. What y'all talking about? Caught some action yesterday, the Dream versus Mystics game this morning. I want to watch that game. I've only watched the Aces game, the first game. Who the Aces play? I don't remember. I watched that game where Leah Knight showed out her first preseason game. It needs to be retired. The Angel Caitlin thing, yeah, it needs to go away. It just needs to go away. Get it over with. Tuck it in, tuck it to bed. They're both great. Let's say it right here and now. Caitlin Clark's a great player. Angel Reese is a great player. They both are awesome people. I said it. Did it take me some time to get used to Caitlin Clark? Yes, it did take me. I mean, not Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Did it take me some time to warm to Angel Reese? Yes. I got videos where I talked about it took me some time to get acclimated to Angel Reese. It's not because of who she is or what she does or not even what she wears. It's because we had an opportunity to win a championship, and Angel Reese and LSU stood in the way. The first championship, losing that one hurt worse than losing to South Carolina because I felt like, we never was really going to beat South Carolina. LSU just Jasmine Carson, just threes, unbelievable threes. And so, Angel Reese didn't really do much that game, but I just think ultimately it's the competition that's in the way. And yeah, it still hurts to lose to South Carolina. But if I had to pick one to lose to, I still stand on this. I'd rather lose to Dawn Staley, her greatness, just how honorable she is as a coach, just how respected she is and should be in the game. And I do think that we fought hard and kept the score respectable in the second half. But, Reese, Caitlin, they play different positions. They do two different things. Angel's a voracious rebounder. She's gonna get better. She can score around the rim. I understand that people don't like her. I understand people don't like Caitlin Clark. I understand that people love Caitlin Clark but don't like her fan base. I get it. People don't like Angel Reese because maybe they feel she's unapologetic, but it's who she is. Caitlin is who she is. Caitlin ain't worried about you people. I mean, she just hit a hoop. I can't say some things that some people told me, but I will say that, I think at the end of the day, it's so much on Caitlin's shoulders is unreal. And I just hope that she don't ever crack from it. I hope that she continues to love the game and enjoy the game. Because I know if it was me and you put too much pressure on the person, they could crack. She's a human. They ain't gonna come out and say, hey, y'all, I'm human. We should know this. We human, they human. But when you put somebody up on top of this pedestal, like I was telling you guys, Written in Alchemist, you make them seem like they unrealistic. And I would like to think that there's nobody over 20, let's say, I will hope there's nobody over 25 that's sitting here praising these people, because I took that word out of my vocabulary, because I reserve praise for a higher power. So as content creators, you got to find another word to use, sometimes. And I'm just not going to say, oh, I praise Caitlin Clark, I praise Michael Jordan. I'm going to find another term. You do you though, whoever you may be, do you. Facts, RC, you preaching regardless how some fans tend to think the athletes are flawless. Absolutely, they do. Absolutely. It's something, it's like they living vicariously through these people. And if you are living vicariously through someone, shouldn't it be your son or daughter? I'm just saying. I mean, why would it be somebody that you don't know? And even if you know them, you know of them. I mean, rarely do people come into contact with these individuals. And if you do, treat them respectful. I could recall the first time, was it Aaliyah Boston? I think it was Aaliyah Boston. I went to Aaliyah Boston's preseason game. Who else? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. It'll come to me. I went to a couple of preseason games. 2023, Aaliyah Boston's rookie year. They was like, you want to go get the autograph? You want to talk to them? I'm like, no, I'm cool. It'll be other times. That's just who I am. Like I don't even, I think I like to say, even if it was Caitlin Clark and somebody said after the game, you want to get Caitlin's autograph? I'll just be like, I'm the kind of cool person. I'll be like, what's up, Caitlin? That's it. I appreciate you balling. If you look at a person like that and talk to a person like that, they'll have more respect for you. Peep game. They will have more respect for you, and you will stand out to them more so than that person. Like, oh my goodness, you know how many people be running up to them, kids, teens, even adults running up for pictures. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with pictures. Do your thing. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying you can't attempt to approach them, in the right setting. But what I'm saying is, it's like, to me personally, I just see them as great players. Whether it's Asia Wilson, rookies like Sonia Citron, Paige Beckers, I just see them as people. Even Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is one of my favorite basketball players. She's not above Asia Wilson. She's not above Nafisa Collier. I'm not that crazy. I mean, I've been watching. Y'all want to know how long I've been watching W in women's college basketball? I've been watching since Marion Jones was at North Carolina. I've been watching since Shamika Holdsclaw, freshman at Tennessee. Been watching since Charlie Smith. Guys, yes, I have had my moments, or even a year where I might have missed WNBA action. But I've been fairly consistent in terms of watching this sport since its inception, since the Houston Rockets 4 titles, which was unbelievable. Let's see, I'm missing y'all comments. Sophie Kiki thing. Which Kiki? Oh, Kiki Irving. Why do I need to watch that game? I need to. I didn't watch the whole game. I always like Kiki and didn't expect that. But yeah, we never possession with the Mystics. We very well could. We very well could. I read an article on ESPN explaining how much exhale CC has to walk on, the pressures on her shoulders. I like that she is aware of the pressure and that she trusts her new coach highly. She definitely needs to lean into her teammates. She got a great mix of veterans. The youth on this team is there because it's transcendent at this point. Losing Bree Hall, I wanted them to keep Bree Hall for some reason, and this is a subject that I really want to avoid. Like, for some reason, it could be perceived as some might think, oh, I don't like South Carolina. If I didn't like South Carolina, I never would have gave them credit for when they beat us. I just would have been like, oh, all right, you won. I would have never done no videos on Don Staley. I would never talked about the team. I would never talked about Raven Johnson. I would never talk about Tessa. If I don't like them, then I don't like nobody from there. So I don't give them credit for winning championships, for balling, for years of consistency, for Dawn just, being the great coach that she is, for Asia Wilson coming through the program. Asia Wilson's my favorite player, but I didn't even realize just how great she was at South Carolina because I really wasn't familiar with South Carolina. I didn't watch a lot of South Carolina until about maybe 3 years ago. So I don't. They're the standard. I look at them as competition. I look at them as what I wish that my Bruins could be the template for. I wish that they could pattern themselves after that. So I look at them like, are you recruiting? If you ain't recruiting like Don, what the hell are you doing? That's why I look at them I look at SC as the gold standard. So yeah, I'm like, if that's the competition is, because now it's UConn, but it's still SC too, because they're still going to be right back in it. Yeah, they lost for Wiley. Yeah, they lost players to the WNBA. They're going to be right back in it. UConn's going to be right back in it. And as a UCLA fan, we got a great chance to try to win something. So I'm going to see them as perceived competition. As an Iowa fan, we might be in for some lean years, or we might shock some people. But when you know who's at the top, that's who you're going for. So it's never nothing personal, but when you know who's sitting at the top, and then when it comes to Aaliyah Chavez in Oklahoma, seeing as though she chose Oklahoma, she has an opportunity to do some special things with Oklahoma. She has an opportunity to trailblaze her path. She's going to have her doubters, but it's fine. I'm a fan of them only because she's there, but I think I could grow to, eventually embrace this Oklahoma team. But I'm huge on Aaliyah Chavez. I'm huge on her. I understand that she didn't blow. How can I blow the competition out the water completely at, what was that? The Nike Hoop Summit and the McDonald's Girl All-American game. But she's gonna be okay. She facilitated. What do y'all want? Y'all want her to facilitate, or y'all want her to drop 30? Y'all want her to be selfish with the ball, and y'all just want to see her boogie and go crazy like Kyrie Irving, or y'all want her to make the right play, especially in a All-American game where it's like an all-star game and everybody got to score, especially in a Nike Hoop Summit when you're playing with the other top-rated players in the country. And shout out Jazzy Davidson and Sienna Betts. So, I'm not mad that she dropped from 1 to 3 in the collegiate. What is it? The high school girl top 3 in the country. She'll be fine. She will be fine. And that's what that is. Bree Hall getting cut was disappointing. Timmy should have stayed too. Yeah, then they would have had to. You think it's gonna be tough now, Ridden? You think it's tough now? Wait until next season, bro. Wait until Portland. Alchemist, y'all wait until Portland. Wait until Portland and Toronto come in. So many teams are gonna lose good pieces because you can only protect 6 players. If I was the W, I probably would have it up to 7. But then that really would take away some of the talent pool. But your 6 best players. Portland's going to get some really good players off of these teams. Toronto as well. We should see a lot of players be able to get into this WNBA. Speaking of Bree Hall, one of the most disappointing stories, and it's not all because of her, Bree Beal. I really wanted to see Bree Beal in this league. I think it's unfortunate. I think maybe she might get one more crack at it. I don't know. But I know people talked about her offensive game, but she's a great defensive player. People talk about how Don could develop players better, like a Bree Hall and Bria Bill. But I'm not here to discuss that. At the end of the day, Don's championships speak volumes. And every coach is going to have a flaw or two. So, only coach I consider to be legendary above all is in the women's college game is probably Pat Summitt. For Wiley was a loss, but almost the next day Lasson comes knocking. Yeah, Lasson came first, really, and then I guess for Wiley, I think some people say that upset her, but I think Lasson, she's kind of small. For Wiley going to LSU doesn't really do anything for me. I'm not an LSU fan, but I do think it will expand her game. I do think we'll get to see her get a lot more fancy with the ball, do a lot more on offense. Will it amount to another championship for her? I don't know. LSU has problems at the 4 and 5 spot. They should be able to score like crazy though. They definitely should be able to light it up. They should definitely be able to light the lamp. To use a NHL analogy, they should be able to cook. MK12, Michaela Williams, Flau'jae Johnson, they should be scoring like crazy. But going and talk about these Indiana Fever a little bit. Definitely, of course, looking forward to the season. Again, sad Bree Hall got cut, a necessary cut. I think Michaela Timpson will make this roster. Caitlin Clark, obviously inferior competition playing against Brazil, but she still, looked nice, splashed up first three. She played. I thought Caitlin played pretty damn well, even though the team was Brazil. Shout out UST, shout out Carlos. What's going on, man? Live, on here for a little bit. I don't know why I'm not that consistent with it, but gotta pick my times and when I can go live. And it's family, it's work. It's so much going on that I go live when I can. It's not always a guarantee that I can do it. Like I want to be more consistent, but definitely looking forward to the Fever and the Aces this season. The Indiana Fever, DeWanna Bonner, that championship experience, the same thing with Natasha Howard. How far it takes them, I don't know. But I will say this: I expect this team to be able to win at least 28 to 29 games this season. In a 44-game season, I think they could get 29. I think 15 losses ain't bad. Will Caitlin Clark contend for an MVP? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more mouths to feed on this year's team. So because there's a lot more mouths to feed on this year's team, it depends. Will double-digit assists get her into the MVP conversation? It could. I think her scoring average might dip. Will all fans like that? They won't. But if they're winning, will all fans be satisfied? They should. They should be satisfied. If it's results to wins, I think the most important thing for Caitlin, outside of getting stronger, is not to turn that ball over. You can't turn that ball over. And speaking of, I don't know if you've seen it, Los. I don't know if y'all seen this. I don't know how many of y'all watch NBA. I know Los does. Man, my Timberwolves laid the egg, brother. Timberwolves laid a big fat egg yesterday, and that game was really, really, really depressing, dejecting from a Timberwolves thing. I mean, it's one game, but no Steph Curry. You can't win and Steph Curry ain't there, and you shoot. You couldn't even hit the water if they threw you off the boat. Like that was just crazy, man. I just wanted to talk about that because that game was crazy, as well was the Indiana game. But yeah, when I think about the Fever, could they go to the WNBA finals? Of course, I say New York Liberty, the Las Vegas Aces is going to be in their way. Me personally, I see a scenario where I see a rematch. New York Liberty, if everybody can stay healthy, if they can rightfully find someone to take Benaja Laney's spot, they'll be back in the finals. And then Las Vegas Aces, I think the Lynx, because of height. Elena Smith is one of the most underrated players in the league as a big. And you got what's her name? Cheyenne Parker out because she's pregnant. We're not even supposed to be talking about the Aces, but I'm just sidetracking a little bit. Megan Gustafson out, injured. Asia Wilson gonna be worn out if you don't. I mean, Queen Egbo needs to play. She's getting a little playing. She's getting some playing right now, and I'm watching them playing against Phoenix a little bit, not totally concentrating because I'm talking to y'all. They looking pretty good out here. Phoenix is looking pretty good too. Satu is balling, but You're gonna wear Asia Wilson out if you don't get no post player in there. So it doesn't matter what you do. But you say, what you say, Liberty, Carlos? You say Liberty's still the team to beat. In your opinion, I agree. I have the ceiling at the Eastern Conference Finals. You got to be talking about the Fever. Okay, yeah, the Wolves been struggling. Yeah, 12 for 77. The last two games, 12 for 77 is absolutely abysmal. And I think the next step of evolution for Anthony Edwards, like, damn, my shot ain't ever falling from out here. I like the Jordan talk, they need to go completely away. Jordan never went away. Anthony Edwards is picking spots. This is the Western Conference semifinals. This is the last I'm going to say about this before I go back to WNBA. He is picking his spots, being selective and tentative. That's not the way. Because when he turned it on late, I was pissed off. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Now you're going to show up and we down by 15, we down by 14, we down by 12. He's the reason why we in the playoffs and everything, and Julius Randle and all that. Everybody on his team has been balling. But your money man got to bring you home, and wasn't good yesterday. Written says Caitlin's scoring numbers should dip. Going back here for a second, Dr. J's scoring went down. The 76ers became one of the best teams in the league. Let Caitlin dish out 10 assists a game. What would be a perfect spot? What would be a great spot for her to score at? Like, what would make you say, okay, she did her thing? I say if she averaged 18 points, she averaged 19. Can she still average 18? Can everybody eat on this team and be happy? And what I mean by that is basically the starters. Can Kelsey Mitchell get hers? If Kelsey Mitchell's going to get hers, of course she is. So Kelsey don't need the rock. Caitlin loves the rock. DeWanna Bonner is good moving without the basketball, coming off of screens, curls. She don't need the ball too much except for getting her shot. She can find a shot. Just feed her the ball, should I say. Good three-down shooter, 3-and-D, extraordinaire. Natasha Howard. I think she averaged 14 a game last season, so she might float around that. The key is Aaliyah Boston. How many points a game is Aaliyah Boston going to average? If she can hit that corner three, I saw her do it against Washington to kick the game off, that would be nice. And again, I'm so disappointed, man, because I will be watching Washington. Do you guys think Lucy Olsen will make this roster? I have to ask that because maybe y'all might have watched more Washington than I have. I'm going to try to, because here's the thing. It's hard to watch every single game. I'm going to try to, even if it's just half at a time. That way I can get these games in before the season starts. I've only watched like 2 games so far. But we got NBA playoff action for the NBA fans, NHL fans, which probably not many coming around here because of talk basketball. But I am a Stars fan. Yeah, they showing Aaliyah now. Love Aaliyah now. Deja Kelly. Oh, my goodness, Deja Kelly. Well, we'll say that for another day. No, we won't. Deja Kelly is freaking awesome, and she better make this Las Vegas Aces roster. And I mean that too. I don't care. Kirsten Bell, bye-bye. You don't want to cut Kia Stokes because you're already short on limb in height. Crystal Bradford, do you cut Crystal Bradford? The key, how many field goal attempts per starter and how many minutes per starter? Interesting. Caitlin's going to get a big chunk of those minutes. Sydney Colson is what, 36, 37? Sid is going to probably play like maybe what, 8, 9 minutes a game. Caitlin's going to be there. Kelsey's going to be playing like DeWanna Bonner is also like 37, so maybe her minutes going to be cut. I think Sophie's going to get a lot of minutes. I think Lexi's going to get a respectable amount of minutes. I don't know if Lexi Hall can meet her ceiling with this team. But again, maybe she's great with her role, and that's all. Alyssa Thomas still going to work. Alyssa Thomas just continues to get it done. But yeah, Lexi Hall, maybe she's satisfied with her role. I think Sophie's going to get a big chunk of minutes. I wonder who's going to be backing up Aaliyah Boston the most. Maybe it remains to be seen. I mean, you have Breonna Turner. I'm not crazy about Breonna Turner. I know she's a solid backup. She can block shots, go around the rim. I don't know if she's a floor stretcher. Jalen Brown has not really been impressive. I would have kept Bree Hall over Jalen Brown. That's just me. Um, I keep saying you need players on the same timeline as Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Nobody's listening to me. I hope that this turns into a championship because otherwise, you just let Grace Berger go. You let Victoria Saxton go, which is weird that Victoria Saxton, to my knowledge, hasn't been picked up. I think she could play ball in this league. Um, Maybe she just needs an opportunity. CC had 14 and a half field goal per attempts last season. Kelsey had 15 per game. Aaliyah had 11. That's where the bulk of your offense goes. But now you got to work in Bonner. Like Bonner, good thing about Bonner, I don't think she's worried about the points. I don't think she's worried about points as much as she is about playing defense, coming off a screen, knocking down threes, bringing that toughness, bringing that grit. Same thing with Natasha. You got to have egoless players, positionless players, but more you got to have egoless players. Kelsey needs the rock. I noticed her defense. Tell me if I'm wrong, Written. Tell me if I'm wrong, Alchemist. Anybody else watching that want to comment? Kelsey defense looked pretty good in the preseason so far. Kelsey was getting after it. I thought Kelsey, Caitlin. I saw a block a shot, but I really, you know what? I'm gonna have to look more closely at Caitlin's defense because I say she needs to at least, if nothing else, play some solid D. Like, don't be worried. I mean, you got so many scores on your team. You have so many people that can put the ball in the bucket that, I'm not sitting here saying she got to be a GP, that's Gary Payton type of defender. She don't have to be like that. But she needs to give effort. So if she could block a shot or two, get in the passing lanes, if she could time to time play some decent on-ball defense, that'd be awesome. I'm not the Caitlin fan that needs to see her go out here and again play defense like Jason Kidd or something. But I would love to see her be honest, at least to some degree, about that side of the ball, especially because this is the best team. No disrespect to any of the Iowa championship teams, not championship teams, but runner-up championship teams. You got to make that clear. No disrespect to either of those teams, but this is the best team that Caitlin Clark's ever played with in her life, period. So you gotta show. Can you win a championship without playing defense? It remains to be seen. Steve Nash couldn't get it done, So, I mean, you had a historic career. You had a fantastic career, Caitlin, in college. Best Iowa player in history. In my opinion, one of the top 10 greatest women's college basketball players ever. But if you want to win that championship, sacrifices must be made from everybody, and this includes Caitlin Clark. And again, some people ain't gonna like it. Some people gonna get emotional. Some people gonna get in their feelings. But these same people act like Caitlin Clark is their daughter, they sister, they auntie. Like you love to watch this player play. She's done a lot for the game. But why are you in your feelings like this is your sibling or something? Like that's the part I don't get. Kelsey has the quickness and she reads the action well on defense. Yeah. Caitlin talked about Breonna January. Breonna January or Breonna Turner? Breonna January. I don't think we're gonna rock for too much longer. We're probably gonna end this live stream. It's good to get a live stream in since I can't, especially since I can't. My pre-record probably be a minute or so before I get that fixed because dealing with technical difficulties. They just need to be somewhere in the middle of the pack on defense. Caitlin's long arm should be an asset on defense. Deflected pass, block, contested shot. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's how you get to the next level. I mean, she already is great, You know, she already can put the ball in the bucket. I think because she got that rest. Somebody was talking about no Olympic break. Who said that? Somebody was saying no Olympic break. She should be ready to flourish. I don't see the comment no more, but she should definitely. Brian January is the coach, or Brianna. Oh, she used to play ball, right? Um, yeah. So yeah, she gonna be. Caitlin, she ain't nothing to worry about on offense. She definitely gonna shoot better 3-point percentage. Last year was pretty rough for her. Don't want to make excuses. We'll see how Paige Beckers does, because we all know that you don't get a lot of rest coming from college. Whether you win a championship, Final Four team or not, turning around a play almost less than 30 days is crazy. And then somebody was talking about Halliburton. Oh, that was you, Alchemist. See someone had a Halliburton experience this season with Steph White. Tyrese Halliburton is a freaking dog. I know we ain't talking about NBA, but Tyrese Halliburton, that man went out there and sucked that three. Cleveland is in so much trouble. They are in deep poop right now. It is not a good time to be a Cleveland fan. And I don't want to hear the excuses about Evan Mobley is hurt. I don't want to hear the excuses of Darius Garland. You were the top two team in this league all season. You don't won 64 games. Let's see it. You still got Donovan Mitchell. You still got Jerry Allen. You still got Ty Jerome. You still got, DeAndre Hunter. I don't know if he played or not, but you're getting your butts kicked, and they need to figure something out before they be at home. Alchemist. Yeah, Brianna January was guarding on for defense. She won the chip with the Tamika's catching team. Yeah, that's what's up. So look, I mean, right now, just trying to soak in as much preseason ball as I can, and I definitely think Deja Kelly got to make this roster. Aaliyah Nas, incredible 3-point shooter, but the Aces aren't done yet. They need to get some length. They're going to have to make some serious cuts. It's going to be a tough decision. And then when you look at the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark is not going to be doing what she did at Iowa. She's not going to be scoring like that, but she's going to have nights like that. And I've stressed that she's going to have nights like that where she goes off and goes and throws some haymakers, some flamethrowers from three. She's going to have can't miss nights, just like Kelsey Mitchell. But the most important thing, because I'm going to end it like this. Somebody asked me, and I don't know if I said this before or not, but somebody asked me, since I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan, would I rather have championships or scoring titles? Or would I rather have championships, or would I rather have her get the individual accolades? My answer was I want her to have both. They said that's not an option. So then when they told me that, I'm like, hey, wins, which hopefully equal to championships. You win enough games, and then you get to the playoffs, you buckle down, and you win those games. And if it all pays off, the blood, sweat, tears, sweat, everything, if it pays off, you win a championship, and that's one of the most glorious moments in sports. If that's it doesn't matter if it's NBA, NHL, NFL, Super Bowl, Stanley Cup. That is the culmination of a lifelong dream, because most players dream of winning the championship. And honestly, it's not a lot to do. So if you win, whether you're the star, role player, bench player, you should be grateful. And I think that Caitlin Clark, especially since it evaded her on the collegiate level, sacrifices must be made. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan whether she scores 13 a game and gets 12 assists. I'm a fan whether she averages 22 a game and averages 8 assists. But for me, at the end of the day, if she averages 22 points a game, 23 points a game, I'm like, okay, where did we end up? That'll tell me a lot, because you don't want to alienate your teammates. You get 10 minutes a quarter, you get 40 minutes. The NBA plays at 8 extra minutes. They got more time to work with. They got more time to stat pad. So, to me, it's most important that she wins championships, in plural, because you had 2 times in college and you couldn't get it done, and that's the biggest. That's one of the biggest things people say. And when somebody comes and says, "Hey, bro, These players got championships. Caitlin don't have a championship. First of all, I don't sit here and say she's greater than players that have championships. That I don't do that. But if somebody says, "Hey, these players got chips," Caitlin don't have no chip. All she got is the record in college, all these individual accolades. She is the best Iowa player, hands down. Salute to all the other players that come through Iowa. And she is top 10 for me. Right now, currently, she's probably top 15 in the WNBA. In college. But there's tons of players I got ahead of her. I don't look at this thing irrational. And irrational is the people who tell you that Caitlin Clark is the greatest player already. Irrational is people that tell you she's the best collegiate basketball player ever. I would tell them to go back and watch games of Candace, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi in college and pros. But she's fantastic and she's phenomenal. And what she has done for the game is great in terms of sales, merchandise, putting eyes on the game. But it's something about a championship that's pretty damn golden, and it holds a high regard above all. So, that's just kind of what it is. You say CC has to avoid the LeBron cycle, which stats overshadow winning championships. I agree. I definitely agree. LeBron, it's time for him to go. Don't even get me started on LeBron. Alchemist, we'll be here for another 20 minutes. I don't want to be here for another 20 minutes. I think she understands that scoring large points don't necessarily translate to winning. She talked about the NC State game. She scored 45. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm gonna finish checking out the rest of this game. I wonder who's playing tonight. I'm gonna look into that. We'll try to get back on here at some point. If not today, maybe tomorrow. And I'm gonna holler at you guys. This is a nice day out there, depending on where you are. I know it's nice up here, so y'all enjoy the rest of the day. And I'll holler at you guys. All right. Hey, before I go, I appreciate y'all for coming out. I always do that. I almost end the live without saying thank you. So I appreciate everybody that came through. I know early on in this live, I know Nate came through. Shout out to US Sports Talk. That's Carlos. Great channel over there. He does play-by-play. Outstanding guy. He play-by-play with basketball, baseball, football. He's a Saints fan. Check out his channel. What am I doing? But yeah, shout out to you, the Alchemist. I appreciate you for coming through, keeping the convo flowing, keeping the chat section flowing. I always appreciate reading. Always been, here. I almost feel like you're day one, bro. I appreciate you big time. And also shout out to the people that didn't come through, but have great channels that I frequent sometime. Shout out to Kavion TV, great channel over there. You talk about a myriad of everything. Shout out to S God, the Man Cave, New York Knicks fan. Guy loves his Knicks, man. So, check out those channels and sub them up if you haven't. If you're doing great content out there, salute to you. No matter what it is. And with that, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm out. Peace.